Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
So, a really quick update on the Hannah Thomas situation. She was the one who'd been involved in the pro-Palestine uh, riot in New South Wales outside a business that they allege was, makes parts for jets that the Israelis happen to use. Uh, Anyway, so she'd been injured by police. I did a couple of different episodes on it, just seeing how, I agree with her. I support, I don't agree at all with her, but I do support her right to protest in Australia. I don't agree, and I don't think that political issues in other countries are really relevant here in Australia. I don't think they should be protesting against it. But, if that's the law, well, okay, I'll go with that. But anyway, let's. It's a bit of an update on what's happening with her because it seems that I keep saying it seems. It doesn't seem. What's happened is New South Wales police have dropped the anti-riot charge against injured protester Hannah Thomas. New South Wales police will drop a charge against Greens candidate Hannah Thomas after a review found that police should not have used rare emergency powers that were introduced after the 2005 Cronulla riots. Thomas may permanently lose vision in her right eye, so watch out for the upcoming, claim for compensation against New South Wales police after she was injured during an arrest at a 60-person strong pro-Palestine protest in Belmore in Sydney. This was on June 27. The 35-year-old who contested, they always put that part in about that rubbish. Boom. The Sydney Morning Herald last week revealed the second charge had cited emergency anti-riot powers under Part 6A of the Law Enforcement Powers and Responsibilities Act. That power requires authorisation by an assistant commissioner or a higher rank to quell large-scale public disorders. Assistant Commissioner Brett McFadden, who had declared this a critical incident, said he reviewed the charges and would withdraw the anti-riot charge. He will instead charge her with refusing or failing to comply with the direction. On Monday, 30th of June, I put in place a process to review the charges laid in this matter to ensure the relevant and most appropriate charges are applied. As part of the review, an additional charge of refuse, failed to comply with direction has been laid today. At the next court appearance, police will seek to withdraw the alternative charge under Section 87MA. The critical incident investigation is ongoing and will be reviewed by the Professional Standards Command with oversight from the Law Enforcement Conduct Commission. Thomas has insisted the protests outside SEC plating on Lakemba Street were peaceful and has engaged lawyers who are investigating all legal avenues. We're exploring all legal avenues to ensure accountability and to protest the rights of those who seek to exercise their fundamental freedoms of assembly and expression. Excessive force by police is a matter of serious concern and must be carefully examined through proper legal processes. Protesters claimed SEC plating supplies parts used to manufacture F-35 jets. I just can't wrap my head around that being a reason to protest. You flippin' idiots. Anyway, like I said, I support their right to protest, but it's just ridiculous. It's like just finding any lame excuse to go out there and cause trouble. That's what it feels like. McFadden last week alleged the protest was unauthorized, but like we've realized, you don't actually need authorization, actually, in New South Wales there. So it was unauthorized, blocked, and also, this is the kind of terminology that police do, that police say, to make it seem like protesters are behaving unlawfully. They say, oh, this was unauthorized. Well, we don't actually need your authorization to go out there and protest, Mr. Policeman. That's what the law says. So a few protesters, including Thomas, acting as a legal observer, allegedly failed to comply and were arrested. Some were involved in an alleged scuffle with officers. Thomas suffered serious facial injuries during her arrest and was rushed to Bankstown Hospital. She said, I'm 5'1", I weigh 45 kilos. Well, she should join the police. That's about the size and weight that most female police officers that I see getting around the place. So I personally just want to see all this go before the courts. I want to see it all played out before the courts because I think questions have been asked and they need to be answered into the use of force, the amount of force that was used by the police, but also questions need to be asked and answered about the actions of the protesters. And I find it detestable when these things, political forces will come out and they'll just insist that things get swept aside, pushed under the carpet. We need to have transparency. It needs the sunlight placed on it. So take it before the courts. So all those questions about excessive force by police and whether they were actually allowed, should have been there, whether the protesters were as unruly as what the police are alleging. All these questions need to be asked and they need to be answered. So it needs to go before the courts, and this will benefit all Australians, in my opinion. Police need to answer these questions. Why and why? I don't, as a former police officer, I just don't understand why they always jump in and charge so quickly and then come back later and have to change their mind or have to withdraw charges or all this kind of stuff. Do your homework and charge when you know what you're doing. That's most my opinion. But hey, what would I know? Anyway, my name is j-fallon. Please give me a like and a share if you really, really care. Later.
And say it isn't real. And please don't go away. Just give me one more day. What if I could? What if I could turn back time? I'd make you smile again. And if I could unbreak your heart and we could start again. What if I could? What if I could turn back time? I'd make you smile again. And if I could unbreak your heart and we could start again. We could start again. We could start again. We could start again.